Decathlon. I don't know, this is just our informational meeting. Some other people, I think that these two went to go get lunch, so they're gonna be coming in. So, I don't know a few of your faces are new. James and Amir and Kelly, and Kelly, meet Kelly. Oh my gosh, two Kellys. That's great. Okay, I'm Mrs. Venser. I teach in this classroom. I teach IB Biology, SL, and HL, and coach Academic Decathlon.
And again, I'm Mr. Pedigo. I teach AP Music Theory, Music Studies, Graphic Design, and Illustration over in Building A. I've been around Academic Decathlon probably for about 15 years.
And I have been here for a few less than that. Are you here for the Academic Decathlon meeting?
Yes, no, these random people.
Just random people. Okay, well, I know these four right here, Soham and Zeta, Mateo and Christian. They're currently in Academic Decathlon. We just got back from state. And so we are just really excited to talk about ACDEC. Have you been to a couple of different places? Have you gone to the website, usad.org, not U.S. Department of Agriculture. But instead, like, there's a website, you just go to that, usad.org, not the blue people. Oh, no. Oh, cool. It's blocked. Awesome, Plano. We love you, Plano. Let us just tell you some stuff about ACDEC. There's curriculum is published every year. Next year it's the Roaring 20s, which is going to be super exciting. And you take tests. So they publish information in 7 different resource categories: art, Langlet, science, music, math,
social science,
social studies, and economics. So the resources look, this is not one of them, but we bind them. It basically looks something like this. And you just read the content and then you take tests over that content. And the more you know this resource, the better you do on the test. Math next year is algebra and trigonometry. There's already some practice problems and math on the Google Classroom site. So has everybody joined this Google Classroom? This Google Classroom has math. We have plenty of practice problems you can go through. You can work through those problems. There's a cram kit if you need help with formulas or equations or a little bit of explanation on the math. And then the power guide goes into a little bit more depth also. So the tryout test on April 8th, it will have, welcome to the Academic Decathlon meeting. This is Hannah and Nicholas. And Nicholas, that's your lunchbox from yesterday. I know them because I teach them in class. We have some students here, 2 Kellys, a James, Aria? No, Amir, sorry. Aria kind of sounds like a girl name. Sorry, Amir. Okay, so we're just talking about the website or the Google Classroom for ACDEC for next year. So when you come to take the tryout test, the tryout test will be 1 hour long, and it's going to have math questions. It's going to be these kind of math questions. And then it's also going to be information over the novel, which we need you to read, which is The Great Gatsby. Welcome, come in, students. Alex, Alyssa, and new friend.
Oh, Rena.
Rena?
Yes.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Venser.
Hi. Oh.
You might be in the right spot. Are you here for the informational meeting for ACDEC? Would you like to come to the front?
Sure.
Nice, get sit next to Kelly. Do you know Kelly?
I think I do.
Yay! Awesome. We are talking about the tryout test. So for the tryout test, you need to know this math stuff, so bring your calculator. And then you also need to read the novel, The Great Gatsby. You need to know information about the novel, so there's information on this website. And then you need to know information about the author, F. Scott Fitzgerald. And there's 2 websites. Know what he did. What other works did he produce? Where was he born? All those kind of things. Normally that information is just here in this book. We don't have that information yet because the topic was just released in March and the new resources don't come out until the end of school, towards the end of May. But academic decathlon also includes, besides the 7 subject tests, we also do interview and speech, and you write an essay, and then we have, you want to talk about the divisions?
Well, I will say first of all about the essay, it will be over one of 6 topics. Art, social science, science, music, economics, literature. It won't be over math. There will be no math essays. But the speech will be over any topic of your choosing. It can be an informational speech, or it can be a persuasive speech. It can be over whatever topic you are most passionate about. We're here to develop speaking skills, nonverbal and verbal communication.
What were your speech topics?
I had eggs.
Eggs.
Not the price of eggs, just like all the different ways you can have it.
How Taylor Swift can change the price of eggs? Was that your speech?
Yes.
No.
Should have been. Okay, eggs.
Mine was about how to make the perfect excuse.
Ooh, the perfect excuse.
Electrocuting people for not signaling when they turn.
What?
Electrocuting people for not signaling when they turn.
Electrocuting people for not signaling in as a driver. Zeta?
How to escape a nightmare.
How to escape a nightmare. So you really can do anything for your speech. It's just they're really fun to listen to and to develop.
And then with the interview, it's like the same kind of interview skills you would want when you're interviewing for college acceptance. So it's going to be questions about how you're doing in high school, what your favorite classes are, what your interests are, some of your extracurricular activities. It's not, the interview is not testing your knowledge over the content. The essay is over the content. So about the divisions, we have 3 different divisions that have to be filled. We have the honors division, the scholastic division, and the varsity division. And the way those are calculated is through a grade point average. Now it's not, as Plano would call it, the cumulative grade point average. It's not even as Plano would call it, the class rank grade point average. They give us a list of classes that count, and there are a whole lot of classes that don't count. It is not weighted, so you don't get extra grade points for AP or IB or honors classes. It's just an A is 4 points, a B is 3 points, a C is 2 points, and an F is 0 points. And these different divisions are based on your GPA as calculated by Academic Decathlon. Honor students have a GPA of 3.8 and higher. Scholastic students, I believe, are 3.2 to 3.79. They don't round up, they just truncate. And varsity is anything that is 3.19 and lower. So it's not the same thing as the grade points you may have. You can have a high-ish class rank and still be a scholastic student depending on your grades in particular classes. And it's only going to count this academic year, 24-25, and the previous academic year, 23-24. It doesn't go back any farther than that. It might count summer school, depending on which summer you take classes, and it does not count credit by exam. It might count e-school. So if you're going to take e-school this summer, it probably would count, and we would need to know that. So our final team that goes to regional competition and then state competition has to have honor students, scholastic students, and varsity students. We take 3 honors, 3 scholastic, and 3 varsity. And our team score is made up of the top 2 honors, the top 2 scholastic, and the top 2 varsity. If we don't have varsity students, we don't have a high enough score to qualify for state. Okay, so we have to have students of all grade ranges. One of the unique components of academic decathlon.
And Zeta, what division did you compete in?
Varsity.
Varsity division, Mateo?
Scholastic.
Scholastic, and then you 2?
Honors.
Honors division. So we, like Mr. Pedigo was saying, we have to have a team with all students. We want students who are smart and want to study. Academic Decathlon shows colleges that you are interested in more than just what you're being taught in your normal classes. This shows your love of learning. It's going to help you with skills that you're going to need to take to college, processing large amounts of information, and then also doing speech, interview. You'll do lots of college interviews when you're wanting to choose between colleges.
Now, some of you might be wondering, well, if we only take 3 honors, 3 scholastic, and 3 varsity, why are we asking so many people to join Academic Decathlon? So in the fall semester, everyone who wants to join takes the Academic Decathlon class. Everyone is part of the Academic Decathlon team in the fall. We can take as many students as we want to several of our fall competitions. We go to Rockwall High School, there's a large competition there. Last year we went to Irving, which had a lot of schools, including from out of state, who compete remotely. We usually go to a meet in Irving, and those are our 3 main meets in the fall semester. That's kind of like our regular season. Everybody competes in the regular season. What you're hoping to do is make it to the playoffs. If during the regular season you're competing against other honor students, you make one of those top 3 honor spots, you will continue with us in the spring semester where we go to the regional competition, and then if our score qualifies us, we will go to the state competition probably near the end of February or early March. So we need everybody to compete in the regular season to have the best playoff team we can possibly have.
Yeah. So what questions do you have for us? Academic Decathlon is a class. It is not weighted. It does not count towards your GPA. Everybody who's in it pretty much just gets an A, like 100. Especially the students who are doing the work that we're asking you to do. We don't do a lot of outside things other than the competitions. Our competitions, like Mr. Pettigo said, the Rockwell competition is usually sometime around Halloween. It's on a Saturday. The competitions are all day. We take transportation to the campus that we're going to the school. You take a couple tests, you have a little break. You take some more tests, you have a break, lunch break. You take a few more tests, you're done, then there's the award ceremony. When we go to the Keller competition in December, we try to narrow down, because we can only take 12 people to that competition, we try to narrow down from August to December, the team, and at that competition you do the normal 7 subjects, but on Friday we go and you do speech and interview, and then before that competition you will have typed an essay. So you get the whole experience of all 10 subjects. What questions do you have for us? Hannah?
How many people are in the class?
This year, I think we had, first semester, I think we had 15 or so.
15 or 18, I think. We've had as many as 27 to 30. Usually we don't have fewer than 18. 18 makes it competitive because we can divide up into 2 teams of 9 to compete against one another. Because part of this competition is that we need you to be competitive. We need you to be motivated. We don't want you to, or we don't want to hold you accountable. We want you to hold yourself accountable. We want you to have a desire to succeed.
Yeah. And this competition is also interesting because when you go to competitions, you win individual awards. So if you were the highest honor student at the Rockwall competition, and you get a medal for that or a trophy for that. If you had the highest social science score, you get a ribbon for that. You get a certificate for that. If it's at state, and we just got back from state, you get a nice big medal. Our medals look like this. Some people got gold. You got a medal. You got a couple medals.
So
What did
we
you
got
get?
second in math, and Christian got
Second in math, and then third in math. And so if you do really well, you can earn scholarship money individually at state competition. The state competition is pretty tough. We're against a lot of really good schools, and we are in a pretty tough district ourselves. We have a lot of really strong schools that we compete against, but we are good too. And so we have been going to state since, didn't we say
I know
forever?
for certain Plano East has never missed the state competition going back to 1989. I don't know about before that, but Plano Senior High has missed it. Plano West has missed it.
Oh man.
but Plano Senior High has made it every year, including winning
Plano
nationals.
East.
or
Plano East.
Including winning nationals in 1993.
Yes. So, but we need you, and we need you to study hard. It's a lot of work. These students will tell you. There's a lot of content. We can't teach the content to you. There's definitely not enough time. We can help clarify some things, but you have to be able to read and know some stuff. And read and know some stuff. And then you have to be able to identify specific questions when you take those multiple choice tests. A, B, C, D, E? Yeah. So the more times you've looked at the resource, talked with students in the class, worked through the resources that we give you, the better that you'll do. And we do ask that you do stuff over the summer. This is the novel for next year, The Great Gatsby with the Roaring Twenties. So by reading this novel for the tryout test and learning information about F. Scott Fitzgerald, you're already doing stuff for next year. Also, this is next year's math. So by working through these focus quizzes and doing some practice questions, you're preparing for next competition year already. Good question. What other questions do you have? Yes.
So during the class, we're mainly just going to be researching and just like doing practice, I assume, right?
We don't have a lot of packets. We do have practice tests. We have lots of quizzes, lots of practice tests. We do have some packet kind of information that we can pass out when we get to that point. You're talking about the art pieces. You're listening to the music pieces. Mr. Pedigo will explain some music. Mr. Sklar, especially for the students who haven't had economics, he'll explain some of the economics. We'll discuss the short selections in the language and literature resource. So we just study the content.
Okay.
No outside research is needed because everything that you need to know will be in the resources that you get.
Okay, I see.
You'll get hard copies, and then they'll also be posted in the Google Classroom.
Yeah, it's a wide variety of either reading or activity or testing.
And so next year, we do the class different every year. Some years we just test during the day. We ask you to read at home, and then you come in and you just take tests. Sometimes we do little teach pieces. It just varies.
One thing I want to emphasize is that you have to be competitive in 10 events. You don't get to say, I'm going to have my scores are in science and math, I'm a science math guy, and somebody else will take care of literature and art. Teams that are successful have high scores across the board. Another thing I want to mention is, because I'm sure a lot of you are grade conscious and test conscious, and you think about these things, a lot of you probably are used to getting A's, 90% and higher. If our whole team got 90% or higher, we would win nationals. How hard is it to get a 90% or higher in everything?
It is very hard.
How hard is it to get a 90% or higher in anything?
Hard. Very hard. I think I only got like 3 in state.
Yeah, 3 out of 10 subjects you might have gotten a 900.
Yeah.
So don't come in saying, well, I'm going to get it all. These are designed to make a bell curve, to make sure the top is the top. So
Yeah.
I just want to temper a little bit of expectations. You're not going to come in with 90s, but our expectations are that you work to build up towards 800s or 80s.
Yeah.
So.
It's fun, but it's a lot of work. It's a class. You're also competing individually. It's a team. We do. We go to Panther Pride and play against the Panther Pride team. AXDEC versus Panther Pride. That's always fun.
It's a social network.
It's always the first game of the year for the Panther Pride.
We try to get it early in the season because then we get a little bit more busy with stuff. But
Plus, we try to get them when they're not on top of their game because we don't stand a chance.
yeah, I don't know that we have really any basketball players, but that was fun, right?
That was fun.
It's fun. Have you guys been to Panther Pride game before? It's the Plano East Special Olympics team, and they're decent at basketball, and we are not. But that's okay. It's good. It's still fun. So, what other questions do you have? Yes.
Is there a Google Classroom?
Yes, there is a Google Classroom code. You go to, Mr. Pedigo will figure that out. I don't
It's
know
on the
how.
board right there too.
Oh, where?
On the-
Oh, yeah, here, right here.
That's all.
If you,
It's a little hard to read though.
oh, can you read that?
5 NI,
It's
5
little.
GBI.
5 NI,
5 GBI.
5 GBI. You have to be on the Google Classroom if you're really interested because that's where all of your study codes are at, all of your study material. One other thing, I have one other thing I was going to say, but I'll come back to it because I can't remember.
What is the tryout test?
The tryout test is April 8th. It's after school. We'll start at 4:45. There will probably be some other students coming from Williams or McMillan to come try out. So you'll come on April 8th. Come here. You'll get maybe you'll eat a snack or something, study a little bit of content, and then we'll get started. In order to get yourself a tryout seat, we need to know how many people are coming. So on the Google Classroom, there's a tryout test reservation form. Once you fill this out, we contact the registrar here at school and we pull your transcript so that we can kind of see these last 3 semesters. Last semester's grades and then last year's semester grades because it's the semester grade that counts. We'll pull that. We'll have some information so we can get in contact with you, and then we'll email you back once you filled out that form. And we'll say, you're tryout number 1, you're tryout number 5, and we just give you a number. And then you just come on tryout day and you take the test, and you see how you do. And then we go from there. Sometimes if we have 50 kids show up and actually are interested and take the tryout test, we can't have 50 kids in the classroom. It's not that. We're not all about 50 kids. 28 is plenty. So we will cut based on scores. If you come to the tryout test and you're like, well, I know some algebra and trigonometry. I didn't really study the novel or F. Scott Fitzgerald. You're going to have 2 grades and then a combined grade. We'll give you a math score. We'll give you a Lang Lit score. We'll also give you a little bit of like a little critical reading section, a little passage that you read, some basic critical reading questions. We'll do some author, we'll do some novel questions, and you'll have a Lang Lit score. And then we'll combine those scores and you'll have an overall tryout score.
For the math section, you will be allowed to use a graphing calculator. We do have, I believe 8 are currently working that we could loan, but we only have 8, so you might want to make sure you bring your own.
For the tryout test, is it just math and the novel and the author?
It is just those 2. We're just going to do a Lang Lit portion. Typically when we do Lang Lit in class, it's going to be F. Scott Fitzgerald. It's Lang Lit is set up critical reading section, author, information, novel, and then shorter selections. So you will have already done a chunk of content, but we're just going to test, obviously not over shorter selections, we don't know what those are yet, just the novel stuff.
And that's like a multiple choice, correct?
It's all multiple choice,
Okay.
yes.
Is there any way we can calculate what our GPA would be on our own beforehand?
If you know, no, probably not. I mean, like once we pull your transcripts, we'll tell you what division you're in, what division we think you're going to be in
You can always change based on this semester's grades, plus anything you might take over the summer.
over the summer. If you have all A's in all of your classes, you're an honor student, right? If you have some A's and some B's, you could be honors, you could be scholastic. We love students who are really smart but get an F. Sign us up. We need you, right? We have to have varsity students too. Like they're actually the varsity students determine how well we do during the school year. And those varsity students have a lower GPA, right? They could be mostly a B student and then have failed one class, or an A-B student and then maybe a couple of C's. Varsity student. Some campuses or some programs can't attract those kind of students to their program. We have to have them. and they have to be good.
And about
And
the
Zeta
tryout-
was good. So what about that?
And about the tryout test, we want everyone to come. You might be thinking, I'm not sure if this is for me. You won't know until you take the test. At the same time, you might take the test and say, this is not for me. We're not trying to rope you in. This is not a commitment. This is to gauge your interest. I mean, if you take the test and you do well and you say this is not for me, we might come begging anyway, but it's not a commitment. So please do come take the test just to find out what it's all about.
Yeah. We're going to put this recording on the Google Classroom. It is more fun when you have friends in the class going to competitions with you, studying with you. So if your friends are not here today, tell them, hey, all you have to do is go to the Google Classroom, do some studying, come take the tryout test with me. Let's see if we can both get in. You know, I would just encourage you to rope some friends in with you. Any other questions? Do you four have some stuff that we've missed?
Honestly, it may not seem all fun right now at the moment, but trust me, over the year it gets more fun every time you do it. Sure, it just seems like you're gonna test all day long, but honestly, when you do it with your friends and you just hang out, it's really fun and chill.
Yeah. Yes,
We have good snacks at the competition.
We definitely eat well.
we have good snacks. We can do more stuff. You know, like Act Deck is what the students make it to be. If you want to do more things, we can do more things. If you want to meet up and have ice cream and talk about the Great Gatsby on the weekend, we can do that. If you want to go bowling and talk about content, we can do that. You know, it is just really, it's good for you. It's good for the school. You guys make us look good. So, thank you for that.
And the best team bonding happens without the coaches. So just throwing that out there. You can go bowling without us. But if you go into ice cream, invite me.
Yeah.
I don't think we even did a hangout this year for that.
Yeah.
Team students.
Yeah.
We're still bonding though.
Yeah. We left for State. State was in San Antonio. It's been there for several years. But Plano ISD puts us up in hotels. They pay for your food. We drive you down there. You get to have a roommate in the hotel room. We do some studying. We went to the river walk. I don't know.
Alamo.
Went to the Alamo. It's fun. We have a good time. You get to be with us and your friends. Don't you want to be with me, Kelly? More than in biology class? Don't you want to see me 2 times a day? I don't know what she does. Don't you guys? Don't you all want to see me more? Thank you, Hannah. Hannah, you're in. You're in. If you have any questions, you can just shoot us an email. The tryout flyers are all around. We're going to be taking them down, but hopefully you're in the Google Classroom. Remember that if you want a seat for tryouts on April 8th, you do need to fill out this interest form. Yep, it's on the Google Classroom. Any other questions? Okay. Well, thanks for coming to the meeting. If you have any one-on-one questions, you can stay back. Oh, you know the novel is on Google Classroom for free. You could obviously go purchase your own copy of The Great Gatsby. It's a good read. It's nice to add to your library. It's a pretty fast read, so I think that if you started it over spring break, you could probably easily get through it. But the electronic version of this for free is on the Google Classroom. Oh yeah, you have one too. Yay. Okay, that's all we have for you. Thank you so much for your interest. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for humoring